Why are some straight men gay for Jesus? Religious indoctrination and the manipulation of human affection. Religion has long played a significant role in shaping human emotions, behaviors, and social structures. Among its many influences, one of the most profound is the way it manipulates the concept of love, devotion, and even personal identity. This essay explores how religious institutions, particularly Christian churches, employ psychological conditioning to cultivate a specific form of affection, one that is deeply intertwined with submission, guilt, and control. The role of suffering in religious devotion. A fundamental aspect of religious indoctrination is the association between suffering and righteousness. Many individuals who turn to religion do so in moments of vulnerability, seeking comfort, guidance, or a sense of belonging. However, rather than alleviating suffering, religious structures often perpetuate it by reinforcing a mindset that equates pain with spiritual growth. In some cases, this suffering becomes a tool to deepen devotion, where believers are taught that their struggles are part of a divine test or purification process. One of the most striking manifestations of this conditioning is how religious followers, particularly men, are encouraged to direct their emotional and even physical devotion toward religious figures, most notably Jesus Christ. The image of a suffering, sacrificial Christ is central to Christian worship, fostering an emotional bond that blurs the lines between admiration, submission, and personal identity. The subtlety of psychological manipulation. Religious institutions use a series of well-documented psychological tactics to ensure that followers remain emotionally attached to the faith. One such tactic is love bombing, a practice in which new members are overwhelmed with expressions of acceptance and affection. This intense initial bonding creates a deep emotional connection, making individuals more likely to conform to the community's expectations. Once this bond is established, conditions are introduced. True acceptance requires unwavering devotion to Jesus. The once freely given love becomes contingent on obedience, faithfulness, and often financial contributions. This conditional love reinforces the idea that ultimate fulfillment can only be achieved through religious devotion, further entrenching followers in the belief system. The repression of natural desires. Sexuality is a natural part of human existence, yet many religious traditions treat it as something shameful or dangerous. Christian teachings, in particular, have a long history of repressing sexual expression, positioning it as an obstacle to spiritual purity. This repression can lead to deep psychological conflicts, especially when combined with the intense emotional attachment to Jesus. Some believers report experiencing dreams and visions of Jesus in intimate or erotic contexts. Rather than recognizing these as natural psychological manifestations, religious institutions often label them as demonic temptations or sinful thoughts. This further enforces guilt and self-denial, keeping followers in a constant state of self-policing. Meanwhile, religious iconography frequently depicts men in passionate embraces with Jesus, reinforcing a paradoxical message. Deep love for Jesus is required, yet any expression of physical love is condemned. The cycle of control and submission. The psychological impact of this conditioning is profound. The process often begins in childhood or during moments of personal crisis when individuals are most susceptible to external influence. Religion thrives in dysfunctional, impoverished societies where people seek comfort and community. By offering an initial sense of security, religious institutions create dependency, gradually imposing stricter conditions that deepen devotion and submission. As a result, many men find themselves in a situation where their most intense expressions of love and devotion are directed toward a male religious figure, yet they are simultaneously taught that such feelings are shameful. This creates a cycle of repression, guilt, and deeper religious dependency, ensuring continued participation and control. Conclusion. Religious indoctrination is a complex, multifaceted process that manipulates emotions, identity, and personal relationships. By fostering an environment of suffering, conditional love, and sexual repression, religious institutions maintain control over their followers, ensuring lifelong devotion. Understanding these mechanisms is crucial in recognizing the power dynamics at play and in fostering a more open, self-aware approach to spirituality, one that allows individuals to seek fulfillment without coercion or psychological manipulation.